నడుపు. Yes. Am I audible? Welcome to today's session. I'll start in 1 or 2 minutes. Am I audible? Please let me know. Yes. Okay. We'll start in just 2 minutes. Yes. We'll start the session. See, I think I showed the slide. One thing I want to ask you before discussing about this today's topic of genetically modified mosquitoes. It's obvious that we are discussing about mosquitoes, but if someone asks you which is more dangerous, what is the dangerous animal in this planet, which is killing more number of human beings? Some may say it is snakes, some may say it may be sharks, some may say it may be some. Now it is COVID is a disease, but I'm generally asking about which animal is killing the most. Surprisingly, it is mosquito. See, according to the statistics, world's deadliest animal, which is killing the most number of peoples in the planet, is mosquito. Snake, shark. Look at the our innocent shark. Only 10 on an average. See, these are general things. Elephant, 100, crocodile, all these things, even snake. 50,000 is nowhere in compared to 7,25,000. So mosquitoes are one of the deadliest actually. That is the situation which we have. So why we have to control mosquito? How mosquito is killing? It's not that if a mosquito comes and bites us, we will die. It's not like that. Generally, these mosquitoes are vectors. See, there's a name, there's a technical term which we use. They are called as vectors, means they carry. They are carrying many viruses and pathogens. Mosquito bite is not killing us. What is killing us is these mosquitoes. There is a power outage. It will be back. We'll continue with the session. Okay. Fine. I think everything is as usual. Right? Are you able to follow? Fine. So, yes. We'll continue. It's okay. Mosquitoes are vectors for many parasites, viruses. They carry these deadly microorganisms through indirect these virus, pathogens, all those things, they will transmit to humans. That is the problem. Just it's not that every mosquito bite is dangerous. If the mosquito is carrying these viruses and pathogens, then with the bite, that will be transferred to the humans, and humans will be exposed to diseases. Very interestingly, it's only female mosquitoes which are causing the danger. It's only female mosquitoes. Why? Because female mosquitoes, whatever may be the type of mosquitoes, like there are different races in human beings. There are different type of mosquitoes also. So different mosquito types are there. Among all those types, it is the female mosquitoes which are causing these diseases through bites. It means male mosquitoes will not bite human beings. Male mosquitoes will depend on flower-based nectar and all those things. It is the females which bite. Why females have to bite? It's not that I am a gender argument here. Females mosquitoes are biting because they need the blood. They need the blood to hatch eggs. That's the reason they are dependent on this biting. Through that biting, these all pathogens will be transmitted. That is the issue here. So if you look at it, if you look at the statistics, mosquitoes are posing a very big danger. The small one is in fact the biggest threat which we have. So we need to control those mosquitoes. Now we will look at various methods of control. Why genetic modification? What are other methods which we have? Why this is a solution? Or first of all, is it a solution? All the aspects we'll look. And apart from that, we'll also look at the positives and negatives. What are the oppositions which we have with respect to genetically modified mosquitoes? It's not that I'll be discussing about genetically modified things or biotech. That we will do in the separate sessions. So this topic is mainly with respect to genetically modified mosquitoes. Now, what is genetic modification? What are the methods? How biotechnology is being developed? That itself is a different topic altogether. Okay, that we will see later maybe. Now we'll stick to this genetically modified mosquitoes. Somehow we are creating the genetically modified mosquitoes. Then how it is a solution or is it a problem? Can we do that? That will be the topic of discussion for today. So as I said, only female mosquitoes bite. They need blood to produce eggs. Male mosquitoes do not fight. They feed on nectar from fellows. So males are a kind of vegetarians with respect to mosquitoes. You can think like that. Now, with coming to various mosquitoes, audio structured. Is my audio? Am I audible? Because one or two students always message this. Am I audible? Please respond, one or two. Because that may be problem with internet. Yes. Okay. Internet is fine. Some are saying yes, some are saying no. Please look at their own internet connections. Okay. Yes, I am audible. Fine. Okay. So we'll continue. So this is happening with because of this rain and all these things. Here it is fine. Some are able to follow. So please check your things. Then with respect to this concept of controlling mosquitoes, if you look at, we'll see slowly we'll go into genetic modification. There are, first of all, we will see what are the different types of maize. There are varieties of mosquitoes, no doubt about it. But some prominent things and the diseases associated with these mosquitoes is very important, especially in the prelims context. Okay. So if you look at these phenomena, types, mainly Aedes is the name given to mosquito. Vector, when I call it a vector, this mosquito will not be affected by that disease. It only carries it. The disease will not affect the mosquito. And so it is just carrying it. The technical term is vector, which is used. So Aedes mosquito is this, look at this. This is so bad for us. It is causing for these many diseases. Chikungunya, dengue outbreak, filariasis, Rift Valley in Africa, yellow fever, because a kind of jaundice symptoms are associated in this fever. Zika virus outbreak in Brazil during Olympics times, last Olympics. So these type of things, this only one Aedes mosquito is the cause of all these type of diseases. Okay. And there is one more thing. Chikungunya is caused by virus. See, there are type of pathogen parasites, right? Type of pathogens actually, whether it is a bacteria, whether it is a fungi, whether it is a simple parasite like this, virus or a parasite, all are these different names. So chikungunya is caused by options A, B, C, D, bacteria, virus, fungi, parasite. So chikungunya is caused by virus. This virus is transmitted by this mosquito. Okay, so dengue virus is carried by the same Aedes mosquito. So these are the diseases which are spread by this Aedes mosquito. That's the reason these many types are there. We are having these many deaths. This is the overall figure, right? That is the issue here. Okay. Now let us get back to this. Another mosquito type, Anopheles. Anopheles mosquito also causes lymphatic filariasis and malaria. Types of malaria also there. Both are parasites. Types of malaria infections are also there, but mainly it is caused by Anopheles mosquito. Lymphatic filariasis is caused by both. You have this in both. Lymphatic filariasis is here and here. So both the mosquito types are causing lymphatic filariasis. Like that, combination questions can be asked in the prelims context. Culex mosquito is causing Japanese encephalitis, again lymphatic filariasis and West Nile fever. So very interestingly, filariasis is caused by all the three. Many dangerous diseases are caused by Aedes mosquito. So what is a virus? What is a parasite? So there is no bacteria here. That is the observation which you have to make. So that is the way in which you have to analyze and observe. Okay, fine. These things we will, but audio is breaking sometimes. Fine, I will be louder. Let's see how it goes. Then with respect to types, some methods of controlling mosquitoes. What are the various methods to control mosquitoes? Different methods are there. See, from common household precautions to technical things, we will look at some of the advanced techniques here. So one by one, we'll look at very quickly. First, general standard method which they are using is spraying of this DDT, this chemical, dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, commonly referred to as DDT. If you are in Hyderabad or if you are in any city, generally when this rainy season is there, monsoon season is happening outside. When you have this rainy season, generally, in order to control mosquitoes, this DDT will be sprayed. You might have heard, seen those fumes and all those things. So what they are spraying, DDT they are spraying. This is just like a insecticide kind of. It's a chemical which will kill the mosquito. But the problem is, if you long back, some of you might have been there in my antimicrobial resistance class. I said that the mosquitoes in the present times have developed resistance against this DDT. They have developed resistance against this DDT. They are eating this DDT as a breakfast or dinner. They are not dying on this DDT. They became resistant. That's what we explored in with respect to our antimicrobial resistance class. This example I explained. So mosquitoes are becoming resistant. They want to live. Every life on this planet wants to survive. So on the spraying of this DDT years after years, it has become so resistant, it is not dying on the DDT. It is using the DDT as food. Okay, so this is one method. So there is limitation with DDT spraying, but still many of the municipalities in India are using this DDT only. So that's a limitation, in fact. Then very interesting development. See, these are the advanced techniques which I am looking at. Mosquitoes with Walbachia. Walbachia is a bacteria. See, there is no genetic engineering. What is genetic engineering? I will explain just now briefly. So mosquitoes with Walbachia, this is another method. This is the second method which we are looking at. Various methods of controlling mosquitoes. Mosquitoes with Walbachia is a bacteria. They will just infect these mosquitoes with this bacteria. Bacteria will be very small. See, like human beings have a lot of bacteria in them, mosquitoes also will have bacteria. So we are infecting these mosquitoes with this. We are exposing the mosquitoes to this Walbachia bacteria. Very interestingly, when a mosquito is infected by this bacteria, the male mosquito will become sterile. The male mosquito will become sterile. Sterile means after mating with the female, the eggs can't be reproduced. That kind of sterility. So they are limiting the next generation. There will be no next generation. This will be gone. Mosquito population will be controlled. So there is a new method which was also been in the news. Putting up, they are just infecting the mosquitoes in the lab with Wolbachia bacteria. Third method is irradiated. This is the old method. It's not, it was in the practice from long time actually. Irradiation of mosquitoes. Irradiation of mosquitoes means mosquitoes will be exposed to X-rays. Mosquitoes will be exposed to X-rays. Here also there will be one common thing. Why I'm explaining all these things means technology develops from one stage to the other. So there is a pattern here which you will observe now. X-rays, when mosquitoes are exposed to radiation, prominently X-rays, males will become sterile again. Okay, so there will be no offspring. The same phenomena will be resulted. Okay, so imagine the impact of radiation on this mosquito. Once you radiate those mosquitoes, they are becoming sterile. Now we are using this mobile phones, this much of radiation, almost exposed to all these things. We also may be infected, may not be so severely, but there will be definitely some kind of impact. That is a danger actually. Then the next, now the advanced method is with respect to what they are telling here is the next advanced method which we are having is genetically modified. Third one is X-rays. This is the GM. This is the topic we are entering now. Genetically modified mosquitoes means, see, every organism, every cell, nucleus and all those things is made up of genetic material, DNA, RNA, all these things we will know in detail later. So when this DNA, see, a mosquito is like that shape, mosquito is having flies, mosquito is having wings, it is having needle, all these things is because of the genes present there. Yes or no? Some is tall, some human being is tall, someone is short, and someone is able to run fast because of the traits which we have, long legs, all these things are because of the genes, natural things. So genes are the things which will design the qualities of an organism. Now in genetically modified mosquitoes, what we are doing is we are introducing a completely new gene here, a new gene. Genes are nothing but proteins. They are made up of basically proteins. Okay, complex protein, which are very complex actually, complex proteins. So new gene, there are various methods which can be done. CRISPR-Cas9, genetic editing tools are there. Varieties of things are there. We'll not dwell deeper into that now. But what is happening here is when a new gene is introduced here, they are using such a gene. It's not some random gene. They are experimenting from decades. When a new gene is introduced, here also the male mosquito, genetically modified mosquito, which is male, this is called now this mosquito, GM mosquito, is carrying this extra gene. With this extra gene, this male mosquito, here also male, see, always it is the male. When this GM mosquito is going and breeding with the female, naturally available mosquito, that female mosquito will produce eggs. Those eggs will die. The offspring from that eggs, offspring will be generated, but they will die very soon. So we are eliminating the mosquito population through genetic modification. That is the goal. Ultimately, if one way of controlling malaria or chikungunya or dengue is mosquito is the cause, it's not inherently mosquito is being the vector. If you eliminate the mosquito population, we are eliminating the disease. That is the goal which we are looking at. Okay, so these are the various things which we have now. If you look at this thing in, you have to correct yourself. With the help of mosquito male Wolbachia only, the breeding stops and only females. They can't generate the offspring. So please correct yourself. Some are expressing doubts about it. It's about the male mosquitoes only. Now, if you go back to if you get back to our topic, genetically modified mosquitoes here, how it is being done. If you look at it, how this, let me look at the technology here. The modified male mosquito, as I was explaining, the modified male mosquito will have a gene which will enable the coming offspring. The offspring will be generated, but they will die in just 2 to 5 days. So we are controlling the mosquito population here. We are controlling the mosquito population here. Fine. So this kind of genetic modification, we are altering the genes so that we are putting basically a new protein we are putting in the male mosquito. Female, after with mating, this male after mating, it will produce eggs. Then the next cycle, they will die very soon. So there will be no development of female mosquitoes. Not only female mosquitoes, everything is being stopped, right? So in that manner, we are changing, we are modifying the genes itself. So we want to control the population of an organism. That is the goal which we have here. Then see in the lab. So this is the image. Like that, we culture all these things. These genetically modified males, so we will call it genetically modified male. They have to be produced in the laboratory. Yes, lakhs and lakhs, even and crores of mosquitoes will be produced in the laboratory and released into the environment. Okay, so these genetically modified. So in genetically modified mosquitoes, we are producing them in lakhs in the laboratory and releasing them into the environment so that the population of the mosquitoes in a particular area will be controlled. Okay, because the other methods which have followed, they are having some limitation. So this is a new trial. See, it is not completely approved. Every method has a limitations. So this method also has pros and cons, which we will see. Now we'll briefly see how it is being done because we have to get a gist of the whole topic. So this is a general cycle which we have: male, female, male and female. There is no GM here, no genetic modification here. Male is there, female is there. Female will lay eggs. Eggs will hatch into larva. This is the whole cycle, life cycle of a mosquito. Larva will develop into pupa. Then it will grow into a big mosquito. Then this female, only female adult will transmit the virus. Okay. So this is the general cycle which we have. Life cycle of a wild male and female mosquito. In the sense, wild in the sense, there is no genetic modification. That's what we are referring to. Now let us see what is happening with respect to genetic modification. Imagine the red one here. The red one here is a male genetically modified mosquito. Okay, so this is a female, this is a normal one, sterile. This has a sterile gene. This has a sterile gene. Male genetically modified mosquito has a sterile gene. That will, after mating with the female will lay the eggs. Eggs will hatch into larva that die, developing into pupa. The cycle is ending itself. There are no adult mosquitoes. Adult mosquitoes themselves are not getting developed. Like here in the previous slide, you have whole cycle is being completed, right? More number of females, males, everything is being born. So because of this genetic modification, this is happening. Okay, so this is one. See, this is the method which we did in from 2015. They are doing this method. Now there is a recent change which we'll see later. Some kind of modification they did. Why this? I took this topic because in April there was some change, some new development which is there that we will see. So anyway, so this is the method. We are ending the cycle. We are killing the organism. So are we not removing? Are we not causing a threat to biodiversity? That is on. See, we are eliminating a particular pathogen because that pathogen is killing us. It is a major killer. That's the reason we are eliminating. Okay, that is one reason which we are doing it. It may have repercussions. That itself we will write in the negative aspects. Okay, so with the introduction of negative male, this is what it is happening. Then comes, so as I was saying, breaks the cycle. The cycle itself is broken. It will die prematurely. Now, in the laboratory, so there is a new term called antidote. How they are producing these mosquitoes in the laboratory? They will use this technique only. They will use the previous genetically modified things only, but they will only select males here. Male egg they will select, and they will release a antidote. When this antidote is something like a medicine which will stop the impact of the gene. So this antidote will prevent the working of this gene. If that antidote is given to the mosquitoes will survive, cycle will complete. So in that manner, in the lab, they are producing more mosquitoes. In the nature, they will not release this medicine, which is called as antidote. So the genetic modified mosquitoes will go on and mating with females, and the eggs will be going on. The offspring will be go on dying. So that is the method which they are looking at. Now, look at this. I'm just making a gist of it. Every wild female which mates with our modified males. So there will be no cure, no antidote for it. That's the reason they won't survive. Okay, it's not that when you introduce the gene into the mosquito, it has to die. The offspring has to die. No, there's a cure also. There's a cure in the terms of antidote. That they will do in the lab for producing more mosquitoes, because we have to release artificially. So in the laboratory, they use this antidote and release this so that they will survive with that modified gene. In the nature, that is not happening, so they will die. Now, we have to release these mosquitoes repeatedly. Male things has to be released again and again and again and again. So they are going main with one. A time comes when majority this will dominate females, and these things females will go on dying. So ultimately, the population of females will come down. Males will anyway die after their life cycle. So when females are coming down, blood sucking will not be there. The disease will not spread. That's the reason it can be used to locally eliminate the mosquito population. Few hundred kilometers of area, these experiments have been done. And they are showing some kind of successful results. Okay. So this was in the news recently, 21st April 2022. So trials are happening in the country with respect to genetically modified mosquitoes. Successful trial gives hope. It's not that we approved it completely. When with respect to approval aspects, when we look at approval, we need to look at some preliminary questions here. The dimensions here. Who is giving approval in India? In the world you live, at least in our country, we have to go, right? So what about this new method which is being done here? Of course, they will use the same genetic modification, but they have modified one part, which I will explain. So this trials was happening. That's the reason we have to look into it, how this is developing and all those things. In this new trial, the trial which I was referring to, in this new trial which they have, what they have done is one more advancement they have done recently. In the previous thing, which we have told, if let's go back to our original thing here the cycle is ending, right? So there is no mosquitoes which are generating. Adult mosquitoes, neither whether it is male or female, nothing is coming out here. Everything dies. Eggs will die, right? But what is the problem with this? Every time you have to release male mosquitoes which are produced in the lab. So there has to be Hyderabad mosquito manufacturing department. So every time they have to push the mosquitoes, manufacture them in the lab and push them into the environment. So in order to cross that limitation, anyway, that you have to release, no doubt, but some modification they have done. What they have done is this protein, this is a new protein, OX, the company associated here, Britain company, 5034 is the code. That is a protein. They named the protein like we all have names. Proteins also they are giving name. So this is the gene which they are genetically introducing into the mosquito. So when this gene is introduced, female offspring are only dying. Okay, only female are dying. So male will survive. When males are surviving, they can still affect more females. So this lab-based things will be slowly, they can be controlled. So what is happening in this? There is no confusion here. Just see, genetically modified mosquito males I will release into the environment. Into the environment, I am releasing them. So once these males are there, they will mate with females. After mating with females, eggs, from the eggs, both males and females, both will be born. It's not that female will give rise to only females. How the organism survives? Not possible. No? So male, female, both will be born. In the new development, interestingly, only female things die. That is the new development they have taken very recently. See, this everything is in trials only. Okay. Previously, all used to die. Yes or no? Now only females are dying. No disease. Disease will not spread. That, and also these males will, after growing up, they will infect the females, further decreasing the population. So that is what advancement. So if a question prelims comes, 5434 protein recently seen in news is related to, then you will be able to answer. 5034 protein recently seen in news is related to. Fine. Now that's what we are looking at. So generally these type of things are being done here. This is the only one thing which we have to. All these trials are with respect to which one? Aedes aegypti mosquito. On this only this experimentation has been done. Now, if you look at the regulatory aspect in the context of India, with respect to regulatory aspects, with respect to India, in Indian context, who is there to give approval? That is the dimension which we have to look. Who is there to give approval here? In the sense, everybody will talk about only Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. No, my dear, there are many regulatory aspects which we have to know. Okay, so regulatory approval, see, other are advisory at state level and district level, where a district collector will look into only monitoring. But regulatory dimensions, whether to give permission or not, what is the biosafety implications? Because we are playing game with nature. We are modifying genes. We don't know how that will turn out. What is the future effect? We don't know. Okay, so there are many regulatory bottlenecks. That's the reason genetically modified food crops are not allowed in India. Genetically modified food crops means brinjal is there, mustard is there. Okay, and you have maize in the outside, corn, which is that is also there. But India, it is not allowed. In India, we didn't give permission. Only cotton. Cotton is not a food crop, for use. Only for fabric. That thing only that is allowed in India. Why we didn't allow? This technology is there, but why didn't we allow? Because we don't know when we are eating it how our system will react to it. Enough trials, enough studies are unable to prove the safety completely. That's the reason we didn't allow. So who is putting a block? All these authorities, which we have to look at. Genetical Engineer Appraisal Committee is under Environment Ministry. Okay, Ministry of Environment. Review Committee on Genetic. This is very important for us. This will look at biosafety because we are modifying the mosquito. So whether it is safe or not in the overall environmental perspective, that will be given by this Review Committee on Genetic Modification. This is under Department of Biotechnology. Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Department Science and Technology. That is what we have to look into. Fine. Institutional Biosafety Committee also under the same ministry, Biotech and Science and Technology Ministry. Fine. So these are the regulatory things which we have in the country. Two things are very important: Genetical Appraisal Committee and Genetical Manipulation Review Committee on Genetic Manipulation. These are the things which gave approval for these trials which are happening in the country. Okay. Now, if you look at some of the things, it's not that only India is doing, many parts. In fact, the same company which was associated did many things. Cayman Islands, Panama, Brazil, even in USA also, all these trials are happening. From recently, 3-4 years, along 1 billion mosquitoes have been released, because I said that males have to be manufactured in the lab and they have to be released. That's what it has been causing. Now, it's not that everything is a fairy tale. If you look at this poster, this Florida Keys is an area. Florida Keys is an area in USA. See, look at the posters on the bus stand or these things. They said no. They are saying no, stop genetically modified mosquitoes. Why they are saying no? Why there is resistance? See, ultimately, we have to control disease. These are all the methods to control diseases only. Governments or companies, whoever is trying in order to control the disease. But why people are resisting? Not only in USA, many places they are resisting. We resisted against genetically modified food also in India. That's the reason they didn't allow. So why such resistance, especially in the context of genetically modified mosquitoes? That points, if we look into, it says that the main things which are, if you look at these things, please understand them. What is happening here is, once we stop, the trials are showing, once GM mosquitoes are stopped releasing, once you stop releasing, again, the disease are, the mosquitoes are coming back. Because nature has its own way, right? These mosquitoes are scurrying. So once you stop releasing these genetically modified things, mosquitoes, they are going to come back. Females are coming back to normal levels. That is the one thing. Second thing is, see, as we saw in the initial slide, there are many mosquito types. We have Culex, we have Anopheles, we have Aedes. But this kind of method, once you use, like with this gene, this particular gene which I was referring to, this is only with respect to Aedes mosquito. Yes or no? So one protein, one gene will affect only one disease or one particular, or the disease associated with that mosquito. So that's the problem. For every mosquito type, you have to have different male mosquitoes produced in the laboratory. So it's not that GHMC or Hyderabad or Bangalore should have, it should one mosquito laboratory, it should have different laboratories for different kind of mosquitoes. For different male mosquitoes, for Culex mosquito, one lab for producing them. It's like manufacturing, like you are manufacturing soaps, you have to manufacture different mosquito units. Okay, so that's the problem. Most communities also, the outbreaks, see, dengue, chikungunya, malaria, all this can occur simultaneously also. Yes or no? So that is the problem. Why only one single shot, one gene, one genetic modification is not a solution. That is another opposition, another drawback which we can look at into. Another interesting thing is, ongoing outbreak can't be stopped. You have, see, there is a spread of dengue in Hyderabad, suppose. So you can't stop the ongoing thing. This is only long term. This is only long term. To prevention only we can use it. Okay, because all these things will take time. So this is only long term strategy. It's not a curative thing. It can't stop the, immediately it can't get the results. Then, most important, modified mosquitoes harm people, may harm people. We don't know, because we are modifying the genes in it. So we are altering the qualities of the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes may turn into something else, causing some other impact, different things, some other harms. We may have skin infections. We don't know. We don't know. Things are not, picture is not clear. Okay, so that is the danger. That's the reason people are resisting. That's the reason people are resisting. Okay, we don't know how we will be impacted by these modified mosquitoes. Then, not only us, mosquito eating species, there are many things we are dependent on mosquitoes. See, nature has its own balance. Yes or no? Frogs eat it. Nature has its own balance. Once we are disturbing that balance, once that food chain is disturbed, what will happen? That's the danger we are not ready to face. So these are the various problems which you have in the things. Because if one species, oh, sir, I am not eating frog, I am not eating mosquito, what is the issue? So it's not like that. The nature is having a complex food chain, food web mechanisms. We don't know how it will play out. For example, through ships, this is an example in India only, through ships, a new species of frog came to Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Because ships have water in them, balancing for the sake of balance. So through ships, they came to this new species of frog came to Andaman and Nicobar. In a particular island on that Andaman and Nicobar, this frog got, it reached there. It's not one or two, few frogs, assume. So there is no natural breeder. Natural, it's not breeder, it's not breeder. There is no natural animal which is acting on it as a food. There is no predator for it. There's no predator for this frog in that particular island. So what happened? This frog multiplied. Very fast, this frog multiplied. Okay, what does the work it has? Eating and reproduction. So it multiplied. So all the fields, agriculture fields in that island are full of frogs now. If you go and put your step in that island, you will have everywhere frogs, 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 frogs everywhere. That is the thing. See, we played with things. We don't know how one, like in the same manner here, once we take away this, once we are balancing, causing imbalance in the food chain, food web, we don't know how it will replicate. Okay, so that is the meaning of this point. Unintended consequences of deadly virus. Oh, that is another important thing which we have to look into, because we are killing the mosquito. No doubt, vector is there, but what is the guarantee that this genetically modified mosquito will not carry more deadly virus? This corona is also, the picture is not clear whether it is accident in a lab in Wuhan or whether it is naturally from bats. Still now there is no evidence. We don't know. Okay, so such unintended consequences also we have to face. So another important thing is, very interestingly, these are people are saying these aspects which we look into. What they are looking is, last final important point here in this context, we are eliminating the mosquito, no doubt. Just by eliminating the mosquito, we are not eliminating the chikungunya virus or dengue. What if this virus finds another vector? That danger is always there. Okay, so that is not a complete solution, Volke experts are saying. So these are the various limitations on this genetically modified mosquitoes. Okay, so what we have to do in order to finally conclude, what we have to do? So it's not that we have to do only genetic modification. There are many other things, like we have to look at integrated mosquito management along with GM mosquitoes and all the things, all the methods, Volbochia, irradiation and all these things. We have to look at these aspects also. Then only it is called integrated mosquito management. Community should be educated, awareness, stagnant water should be removed, plastic bags, all those things which are source of breeding for all these things, that should not be there. Surveillance has to be done. Which type of mosquito is in there, which area, accordingly remedy should has begin. Standing water should be there, because mosquitoes lay eggs and standing water, that has to be removed. Insecticides to control mosquito larvae. These are the various methods which you have to use. Monitoring should be there. Just briefly, I have listed it out quickly. So the main term is integrated mosquito management. Along, see, one shot GM is not a complete solution. Okay, we have to look at all these aspects also. Fine. So education, awareness, surveys, water, insecticides, monitoring. So these are the various ways in which we have to do mosquito control. Fine, that's it. Now we'll look at some questions. Volbochia, recently seen in news, is please answer this question. Zika is a virus only. Volbochia is a bacteria. It's not a GM mosquito. It's not an insecticide, nothing. Yes, it is a bacteria. Most of you can easily answer because we just discussed it directly. Then Aedes aegypti mosquito, Aedes aegypti mosquito, which is causes which of the following? Chikungunya, dengue, Zika, or all? All is the answer exactly, because we have looked at the three types: Aedes, Anopheles, Culex. Okay, so all is the answer. If you look at Review Committee on Genetic Manipulation, this is under which ministry? Review Committee on Genetic Manipulation is under which ministry? Some are saying B, Ministry of Science and Tech. No, this people you didn't get it. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee is under Ministry of Environment. Review Committee on Genetic Modification. Don't think that as we are talking about diseases, it is under Ministry of Health, Department of Biotechnology, under Ministry of Science and Tech. Okay, it's not D also. So for this question, there are multiple answers. Right answer is C. Okay, so that's it for today. So that's what we want to look at all the things, quickly look at things. We'll share this for you. These are the things which you have to look at. Any particular doubts you have? Okay, I hope you all understood. There's the next session now, economy. Thank you. Fine, bye. Science and tech sources, my dear, it is a dynamic subject, Biswas. There is no single book. See, generally we are addressing the topics which we are looking at. In market, there are 1 or 2 books. You can take any good book, no doubt about it, but you have to be updated with the current developments. Science and tech is mostly current developments oriented. We'll try to cover as much as possible. Okay, take care. Bye.